Toyota smashes global sales records despite Trump tariffs. 2025 Auto Market Update. Breaking news. Toyota has shattered global sales records in the first half of 2025, sending shockwaves through the automotive world. But here's where it gets controversial. This triumph comes even as US President Donald Trump's threatened 25% tariffs on imported cars loomed large. Between January and June, Toyota, including its subsidiaries Daihatsu and Hino, sold over 5.5 million vehicles worldwide, marking a 7.4% increase compared to the same period last year. Much of this surge stemmed from booming demand for hybrid models in its key markets, the United States, Japan, and China. Cars like the Prius and Camry hybrid have become go-to choices for drivers who want better fuel economy and lower emissions without sacrificing performance. On the production front, Toyota ramped up output by 8.8%, also reaching 5.5 million units. Impressively, experts believe this spike in local production wasn't just a coincidence. It could be a deliberate strategy to mitigate the impact of import levies and currency shifts. A crucial factor behind these record figures was a last-minute rush from buyers seeking to lock in deals before the proposed US import tariff of 25% took effect. Dealerships reported a flood of orders as customers scrambled to beat the deadline. Some critics argue, however, that this buying frenzy simply pulled future sales forward, raising doubts about whether demand will stay this high once the deadline passed. And this is the part most people miss. While the tariffs were intended to shield American automakers, they may have inadvertently fueled Toyota's domestic production surge. Did these trade barriers genuinely protect US jobs? Or did they just encourage Japanese plants to crank up output? Could consumers ultimately bear the cost through higher prices? Toyota's performance highlights a fascinating clash between market dynamics and protectionist policies. Are tariffs really an effective way to level the playing field? Or do they create costly obstacles that trigger unintended consequences? We want to hear from you. Do you think tariffs safeguard domestic industries, or do they end up hurting consumers and stifling competition? Share your thoughts and join the debate. Toyota's record-breaking sales and production in 2025. Toyota shatters production and sales records in first half of 2025, and hybrids are leading the charge. Toyota's manufacturing dominance continues to astound industry watchers as the automotive giant announced unprecedented achievements on Wednesday. The Japanese automaker revealed that both its global production figures and worldwide sales volumes reached all-time highs during the January-June period this year, driven by exceptional consumer demand across several key markets. The automotive behemoth, which maintains its position as the world's largest vehicle manufacturer, reported that its international sales surged by an impressive 5.5% compared to the same period last year, with more than 5.1 million vehicles delivered to customers worldwide. But here's where it gets particularly interesting. Hybrid vehicles emerged as the true stars of Toyota's lineup, accounting for approximately 43% of all units sold globally during this 6-month timeframe. This hybrid dominance comes at a time when many competitors are pivoting entirely toward all-electric vehicles, suggesting Toyota's more measured approach to electrification might be resonating strongly with consumers who aren't quite ready to make the full EV leap. On the production front, Toyota's manufacturing operations demonstrated equally remarkable performance, with global vehicle output climbing 5.8% year-on-year to reach 4.9 million vehicles in the first half of 2025. For those unfamiliar with automotive manufacturing scales, producing nearly 5 million vehicles in just 6 months requires extraordinarily efficient production systems and supply chain management. Zooming in on the most recent data, June's performance continued the positive trajectory. with worldwide sales increasing by 1.7% to 867,906 vehicles, while production numbers jumped even more significantly by 7.4%, resulting in 854,565 cars rolling off assembly lines during the month. It's worth noting that these impressive statistics encompass both Toyota's mainstream offerings and its premium Lexus brand, which has been making significant inroads in luxury markets traditionally dominated by European manufacturers. The geographic breakdown reveals that this growth wasn't isolated to a single region, but rather spread across multiple key markets, including North America, Japan, and China. The latter being particularly noteworthy given the increasingly competitive landscape for foreign automakers in the Chinese market. And this is the part most people miss. Toyota's continued success with hybrid technology might actually be providing the company with a strategic advantage during this transitional period in automotive history. While pure electric vehicles struggle with infrastructure limitations and consumer hesitation in many regions, Toyota's hybrid offerings provide an appealing middle ground. But does Toyota's hybrid-heavy strategy represent the wisest long-term approach? Or is the company potentially delaying an inevitable full transition to all-electric vehicles? Are consumers truly voting with their wallets for hybrid technology? Or is Toyota simply benefiting from production constraints affecting other manufacturers? Share your thoughts on Toyota's record-breaking performance and whether their hybrid focus represents the future or merely a profitable detour on the road to full electrification.